Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe. But today we are going to be making this cute little bonnet. It is the perfect bonnet for the winter because this is made out of a nice, warm, thick yarn. This bonnet is in a size 6 to 9 months, but my size does run a little bigger because I like to make it a little bit bigger so that they can wear it longer. And I made this bonnet for my 8-month-old and it still has room to grow. I like to design my bonnets with more coverage, so this covers up more of her head so that her hair is not sticking out because it doesn't cover all of her hair. And also here I make sure that this covers more of her neck and so that she's warm in this. So yeah, let's get started with this video. First off, what you will need for this project is yarn. I got this yarn from Hobby Lobby. This is the Must Be Merino Aran in the color khaki. And the crochet hook that you need for this is a 6.5 millimeter. So you will also need a crochet hook, a needle at the very end, and some scissors. I have these small ones just to snip off extra yarn. To start off, I'm going to be making a magic circle. So this is how I make it. Just cross it over, take my yarn, and pull through. Now I'm going to chain 2. 1, 2. I'm just pulling this loose yarn just to tighten this very end one. And into here, not counting our chain, we are going to make 10 double crochets. So to do that, you will yarn over, you put it into the circle, take it out, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And that's how you make a double crochet. So that's 1. We're going to make 9 more. So I have 10. I can go back and count them. So we're not counting our chain over here. So skip that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 10. Now I'm going to pull the string and tighten the circle. Now I'm going to slip stitch into my very first chain. Again, skipping this one. And you just pull through and you pull through your loop. Now you want to chain 2. This will also not count as your chain. We're going to start on the second row. We already finished our 10 row with 10 stitches. Our first row with 10 stitches. And now we're going to work on our second row. So into that same loop, same stitch, we're going to do 2 double crochets. So yarn over, go in, come out, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now again, yarn over, go in, come out, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now you go into the next one and you do the same thing, 2 stitches. And you do this all the way around. So at the very end, you should end up with 20 stitches. So you can pause this video and come back when you have that. I'm doing my last double crochet into my very last stitch, which makes it 20. If you go back and count them, there will be 20. Again, skip this chain 2 and slip stitch into the very first chain. So you go in to the very first stitch, you
go into these two V loops like that, and you come out, and then you pull through like that. Now you want to chain 2. Now we're going to do 1 double crochet, and then 2 double crochets into the next one. 1, 2. Then again 1 double crochet, and then you increase with 2 double crochets into 1 stitch. So it goes 1, then increase 2, 1, then increase, and you do that all the way around. Okay, so I'm working in my last stitch from my previous row, row 2, and if you did it right, you should be doing 2 double crochets into the very last one. And if you go back and count it, there will be 30 stitches. And we are finished with row 3, so we're going to slip stitch into the first stitch. Now to start off our 4th row, we're going to chain 2. 1, 2. Now again, 1 double crochet to that same stitch, 1 double crochet into the next, and then increase with 2 double crochets into the same one, and then again 1, and then 1, and then increase with 2. And you do that all the way around. So 1, 1, and then 2. So you do 1 double crochet into the next 2, and then increase. I'm working into the very last stitch of the previous row with 2 double crochets into here. And at the end of this row, row 4, you should have 40 stitches. Now I'm going to slip stitch and chain 2. So now we're doing row 5. For this, you will do 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet into the next one, and another one. So for this row, you're doing 3 double crochets, and then you will increase with 2 double crochets into the same stitch. So 1 double, 1 double, 1 double, and then 2, and you do this all the way around. Now, just the same as the previous row, I'm going to finish this row with 2 double crochets into the last stitch, and I will end up with 50 stitches. Okay, so I'm currently done with row 5, and I'm making a slip stitch. Now we're going to start row 6, and we're going to chain 2. Now for row 6, we are not increasing, so we're just doing 1 double crochet into each stitch, and at the end of the row, you will be left with 50 stitches, just the same as the previous row. Okay, I'm finishing off this 6th row with a slip stitch, just like this. So this is the finish of the back of the head. As you can see, it's not flat, it curves up, and that's what you want it to do, because the back of a baby's head is curved and you want it to fit it nice and good.
So before we start the next step of this bonnet, I want to go ahead and measure this piece, just for some reference. So if I'm measuring like across, and this is a little bit more than 5.5 inches. So let's see. Straighten this out. About 15 centimeters. So that's how big the back over here is. Now we're going to start our design and the part that goes around the top of the head. So we're going to chain 2 to start off, and now yarn over into the same stitch, yarn over, pull through, and now you want to pull through, and then yarn over, pull through 2. Again, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, then you like slip stitch, I guess, yarn over and pull through 2. So that's how you do it all the way around. Yarn over, insert into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, then you want to pull through this stitch, and you have 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2, and you go all the way around. Okay, I'm working in my last one, into my last stitch. Now to start off the next row, usually we would slip stitch, but this time we want it to have an opening like this, for it to be open, because the back of the head is closed, and then here is the front part, and you want it open. So we're not slip stitching, we're chaining 2 and turning around. And then again, we work in our same design. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over and pull through 2. Then again into the next one, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over and pull through 2. And you go all the way around. And that is how you build up your top of the head, and I will come back and show you guys how mine looks and how many rows you need. Okay, so I have finished all of the rows over here. So if you go ahead and count, it can be a little hard to see the rows because they blend in. But here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I did 10 rows. And for the next part, we're going to make the very last part of the front of the hat, the ribbing that goes more around the forehead, around the face, and makes it a little tighter and look better. So you want to do 4, chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you work a single crochet down, skipping the first loop. So you will have 4 single crochets. So 1, oops, do not work into the same loop. 2, 3, and now your 4th one. 4. Okay, so now you want to turn your work. Now you go into the next stitch, slip stitch, and into the next one. Again, slip stitch. So you do 2 slip stitches and then you turn over. You skip those slip stitches and you work into the back loops of your 4 single crochets. So only the back loop, like that. So I have 1, here's the second one. Okay, so I have 3, and now I don't want to forget the very last one over here. That might be a little bit hard to see. And this is my 4th one. Now chain 1, turn your work, and again work your way down, but you're going into the back loops only. So here's the second one, 3, and 4. Now again here we slip stitch 2 stitches, and then you start off again like we did previously, and it will start looking like a ribbing, and you will do this all the way around this edge of this hat, and I will come back when I'm done with that. Okay, so I am here at the end. So the last one I crocheted down, and as you can see there's 1 stitch left at the very end, and I'm just going to slip stitch into there just like that and slip stitch again. Now I'll take my scissors and snip off the yarn and pull this tight. Now I will measure this just as a reference for you guys. So not counting these stitches, but the very first ones, not the back ones. Okay, so that is about 12 centimeters. Now we're gonna do the very last part of this hat, which is the string, the tie, the lace. You want to make the tie, so you just do a slip knot, and you want to chain 20. Okay, so I chained 20, but I'm looking at the length and I want it to be a bit longer, so I'm gonna do a total of 25. 25. Okay, so now take one end of your hat, and we're gonna be working in around the neck, and you start off at the very edge like that, and you keep working it in all the way around, just like this. Okay, so far I worked in one side, so you can see, and I'm gonna go around to the next side all the way. Okay, so I am over here at the end of the other side, and this end is a little bit easier to work into because you have your stitches over here, so you can just work into your stitches, and my yarn from the previous thing, I just work it in. That way you don't have to sew it in later on at the end. And now I'm just gonna work in my very last stitch. Just like that. And now I'm going to chain 25 again. Okay, so I chained 25 for my other lace. And to work into it, you want to chain 1, skip that stitch, and half double crochet into each one of these. And when you get to the end, you also half double crochet all the way around this, all the way to the other side. So half double crochet all the way around again, and I'll be back once I'm done with that and show you how it looks. Okay, so I got to the end. Now I'm just gonna snip off the yarn. Make sure you snip off the right one. I'm gonna leave a little bit of a tail so that I can sew it in. Pull this tight. So what I did was I went all the way around just like this, and I half double crocheted. Now it's time to finish off all our ends. This end over here, I worked it in when I was crocheting, so I can go ahead and just snip it. This end over here, pull it, and then take your needle and thread it through this needle. I have this big needle, it's easier to work in, and just do a couple of these stitches, work it into the center like this. So I did it like 4 times. Now I can take it and snip it. Now turn my work back. Now the only thing left are these two. What I like to do is tie a knot. Just like this. It makes the end a little curved, like this. Just like that. I like to tie it twice to make it more sturdy. Then I'm going to thread it through the needle, both strands. This yarn is a little thick, so it's a little harder to thread it, but it's okay. Okay, so let's even this out like that. Now I'm just going to work into this tie over here, work it in, pull it through, and work it back down. That way it doesn't come undone in both directions. Just like that. And you can snip it. And that is the finished bonnet. So if you enjoyed this video, please like and leave a comment if you have any questions, and I'll be happy to answer them. And I'll be back with more videos. Bye!